What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Now, I'm sure me and everybody else under the sun right now is covering this event, but you know this is going to be the first video we cover today. The main title event has finally arrived. The big title of the year from DC Comics, DC Knockout. DC Comics is bringing 32 of their characters into the brackets. In this 1v1 winner takes all, working your way up the tiers. One hero is gonna walk away with the Omega power. One hero will walk away with the capability to fight Darkseid. And this fantastic event is gonna tie in our regular Earth with our absolute universe. It all begins here. Now, as this comic opens up, we pick up with Superman, and we've all seen the solicitations. His weapon of choice in this fight are Knuckles. Knuckles with miniature suns raging inside. Angry suns that were taken from empty universes. Big Blue came ready to fight. But to understand how we got here, we have to jump back to the past a little bit. We have to pick up in Metropolis. We pick up with the arrival of Darkseid. Everything was fine, and then Darkseid just appeared, randomly out of nowhere, appearing to be stronger than ever, bigger than ever. There is no hesitation. Superman, Wonder Woman, they all charge in, somehow everywhere at once, from Gotham to Themyscira to the Rock of Eternity to Oa. He has finally become what he has always been meant to be, the end of everything. Batman, he's the first to fall, then Diana, and then Clark is hit. That is a hit that kills Superman. This is what takes us to the Quantum Quorum. We have the World Forger, Time Trapper, aka Doomsday, Grodd, and Booster Gold. They are letting Earth's heroes know that this is your future in 1 week. With their combined power, they have gone back 7 days to try and give a warning. Darkseid's already conquered the future. Now he makes his way backwards. But make no mistake, there is no stopping Darkseid. Everything. It all ends right here in this moment. In this place, at this location. Once Darkseid gets here, it's over. The only thing that they can come to the conclusion of is to give up and start over. What they're suggesting is what happened with the reboot of the New 52. They have the energy, the capability to create one new timeline, restart everything and everyone. But they let them know that this is going to be a complete restart. You wouldn't remember anything, you wouldn't know anybody, blank slates, restarting everything. Now Batman, he wants to know, how did Darkseid become this? How is all of this possible? World Forger goes on to explain that our universe is full of mysteries. One of those mysteries is the Alpha and Omega energies. Alpha energy is the energy of creation. It's wild and explosive. Nearly all planets with life are sources of alpha energy, but not Apokolips. At Apokolips's core, the internal machine is a heart. That heart runs on Omega energy, the energy of conquest, absorption, control. And when Darkseid sought this energy eons ago, it chose him as a champion. It transformed him into the person you see today, into the monstrosity you see today. And from that moment on, he sought to turn Earth's, reality's greatest source of alpha energy, into the new Apokolips. And so when he formed the absolute universe, he placed a Heart of Apokolips at the primordial core of Earth. All Omega energy that flows in that realm makes him absolute. He has become that universe's King Omega. And so they tell the heroes that we have to act quickly. This Earth is already beginning its transformation. Of course, Batman gets the idea that if there's a Heart of Apokolips, then maybe one of us could get to it and become King Omega ourselves. Of course, these guys say that's a horrible idea. Like, it's a really bad idea, and it's also impossible. That the heart is cosmically connected to Darkseid. That it serves only him. To change that, you need to restart it entirely. Blast it with Omega energy that you guys just don't have. But Booster Gold does. They go on to explain that the heart is a living thing. It's sentient, reborn. So if we did this, it would immediately seek a champion. Someone fueled by conquest and conquest only. quickly. All of you guys are heroes. Even Hungarian knew it would try to avoid you, possibly even try to defend itself from you. It's fourth dimensional, not bound by physics. It would probably reshape itself and test all of them. It would create a tournament. It would force all of you to do conquest against one another to find out who the true power is. Only then would it choose its champion. And in theory, whoever wins, they should be able to reshape the universe however they want. And Booster Gold's actually kind of encouraging this. He saw the terror that was in there. He saw the absolute universe. He was trapped in that realm for years, for eons. He believes that anything that could stop him is going to be something like him. This is where Superman says that we're not doing it. What you would have to sacrifice to become this. Superman doesn't think that it's worth the cost. And so Batman, Wonder Woman, they try to convince him. They let him know, like, Earth is already his. We've already lost. The bigger concerns is, what if the villains follow us? Imagine a Joker in the tournament, or a Lex Luthor. Imagine if they won. Imagine the power that they could get. But in time, they're able to convince him. They're able to get him on board. And over the next 7 days, our heroes, they prepare. On the first day, they go to secure the villains. Mr. Terrific sends out his T-spheres. He sends them across the globe, apprehending all of the villains, securing them, ensuring that they can't join the tournament. Clark speaks to the people. They have their family time. They choose their weapons. And it doesn't take long for that 7th day to arrive. The Nexus opens up and all of our heroes, they go. They jump into the portal, and that is where we pick up right where we had left off, with Superman having those sun knuckles on and coming out of that gate. He finds himself in an arena. The colossal titans that stand before them, they let Superman and all the others know that those that complete the gauntlets, they will move on. Those that do not, they will perish. As things begin to kick off, we see that Shazam is immediately taken out of the fight, squished on sight. Superman doesn't hesitate and he goes after homie. He hits that titan and knocks a tooth straight out of his mouth. But even Batman and the others, they have to remind him. They have to remind Clark to get your head in the game. The gauntlet's full of booby traps. If they're gonna generate enough Omega energy, he needs to play to win. They all do. They can't pull their punches. They can't hold back. When Jay Garrick accidentally steps on a trap door, this opens up the portal for Omega demons. Parademons that are from the future where Darkseid has already won, and these things are now powered up even more. Hell, even in all of this, there's an appearance from Ambush Bug. Now that's a deep cut for some of you DC fans. Not everybody's gonna know who that is, but if you do know, he's in here and he's out of here as quickly as not even a whole panel. This is just absolute chaos. But we see that some of the heroes are making it through. Diana, Mari, Kara, all these people get through the gateway. But Clark, he hangs back. He makes sure the people get through. As 15 people get in, the portal is getting smaller. Not sure how many people it's going to fit before it completely closes. But as it gets to 19, he can tell that he's gonna need to go in soon. But one person he hasn't seen come through yet was Bruce. As he turns and goes to look at Batman, this is where Batman is pierced through the back and a spear comes out of his chest, or what appears to be a spear. And attached to it is a flag that says bang. This is where we have the arrival of our villains. Of Lex Luthor, Joker, the whole 9 yards. They're here and they're ready to fight. Seeing their arrival, looking at Bruce, he doesn't know what to do in this moment, but you see the rage in his eyes. So many questions. How did the villains escape? How did they even get here? But there is no time. The portal is dwindling down. Superman flies through and he takes the last spot. With that, we have our 32 contestants. From Joker to Power Girl, Lex Luthor to Cyborg, Black Lightning to Wonder Woman, Cheetah to Red Hood. And so while the gauntlet has been completed, we're taken elsewhere, and we get a narration letting us know from the Heart of Apokolips, the one who crowned Darkseid so long ago. They know who will join the ranks of the fallen. They know all the twists and turns. from Blue Beetle to Shazam that have already fallen, the 3 destroyers from the absolute universe that will be confronting our heroes, our absolute Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. But what they don't know is that there is one last champion among them. The king himself, the one giving us the narration, is Darkseid, having taken form of one of their own. This game isn't beginning. This game is already over. As we look into the eyes of Booster Gold, all we see is Omega. And that is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so right off rip, Scott Snyder's probably one of my favorite writers in the comic book realm. So I might have a little bit of bias towards it, but I really do enjoy this story. I think it's off to a great start. Honestly, I wish they had done this sooner in the year. DC might have had a better year had we kicked this off earlier on. You know, comics as a whole this year they've been kind of stuttering, you know what I mean? Feels like our tire's been a little bit low getting through the year. But we've had a couple events, a couple of moments where we've had things really shine. And I feel like DC Knockout might be that moment right now for this year for DC Comics. This is their moment to truly shine this year. Now, I guess we can all assume that the heroes aren't actually dead. We're seeing them turn to stone somewhere else, possibly siphoned off using whatever energy is in them and powering Darkseid even more, which means they can kill anybody at any time, like we saw with Shazam, aka the Captain, like we saw with Blue Beetle, what we saw with Ambush Bug, like we saw with even freaking Batman being taken out that quickly. But with 32 contestants picked, some of them villains, some of them heroes, Darkseid says that he's gonna win this, but I don't know, man. It really, just starting off, it feels like Superman's gonna come out on top. And not because he's Superman, but because of his understanding of what he's having to give up. Like, Superman knows he can win this fight. Add in those freaking sun knuckles with freaking suns inside of him. Like, what are we even talking about? Superman wins this fight 10 times out of 10. Maybe not against Darkseid, but against everybody else for sure. But I think this is Superman trying to strip away his humanity because he knows what he has to do to win this. He doesn't know that people are gonna survive or be alive afterwards. He has to assume that they're gonna die. So he has to assume to win this contest, he has to kill all his friends. And he knows that this isn't even a conversation because he knows that he can kill all of his friends. But he doesn't want to. Terrified of what it would do to him. The person he would become, the monster that he could see himself becoming. And then given absolute power from the Omega energy. Would Superman be any different from Darkseid at that point? Would he already be too far gone, too corrupted, that power wouldn't even matter? So there's definitely an opening here to tell a greater narrative with Superman about his humanity, trying to strip it away, him trying to hold on to it, but ultimately losing it to the Omega energy. There's a lot of promise here, and I'm really excited to see where this is gonna take us. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything happening with DC Comics, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with all of our series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. This is a lot like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50 from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, you're getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel, liking this video, hitting that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.